When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
Hi, my name is Neeraj Patel. I'm a family physician here at the South Huron Medical Center and also work at South Huron Hospital. So during my years in training as a medical student or resident, I worked in various rural communities. But during my time as a resident, one of my mentors actually introduced me to South Huron. Shortly after I started working here, I took a special liking to, in particular, the staff here at South Huron Hospital. I found that the entire team worked quite cohesively, and that certainly was a reason I wanted to continue working here and eventually set up shop with family practice as well. In terms of working in both the hospital and in family practice, I think this is an important aspect of working in a rural community. Family physicians are often the foundation of providing medical care in all capacities in these rural communities because we're so limited in numbers. What I do enjoy about it is that I can continue to maintain a continuity of care for my patients in the office and then see them as well in the hospital. It also is helpful to see how they do in recovery after getting out of the hospital. I think what's important to us as physicians working in a rural community is that we continue to strive to maintain and increase the resources available to us to keep providing the highest quality care to our patients. Often in smaller communities, we're at a disadvantage in terms of resources compared to bigger cities. So here in South Huron, I think our physician group has, both in the family practice but also through the hospital, has always worked hard to recruit and retain physicians. Our group of family physicians also serves as a backbone to keeping the hospital staffed, in particular keeping our emergency department open and keeping the inpatient unit staffed with a physician to care for the patients. We take great pride in the fact that we've been able to keep our hospital running without gaps in physician coverage. South Huron is an ever-growing community, especially more now than ever, and our ability to continue to provide care for our patients will rely upon us being able to recruit more physicians to the area.
Tell me your name and where you're from.
My name is Harold Phillips. I live here in Exeter. I'm from Toronto, and that's me.
Tell me about what landed you in the South Huron Hospital Emergency Department.
I got up on a Sunday, I believe it was, and I had terrible heartburn. I've been having it all along, and I knew I had to get rushed to the hospital. So the wife brought me down here to emergency, and I came in the front doors there. And after they did the paperwork, I went across to the emergency entrance, and some sweetheart nurse took me into one of the rooms here, sprayed something under my tongue, and it worked beautiful. I felt 100% better, but they had to take me down to London because they saw something that I would never know. And then they put me in an ambulance and took me down there. That I needed heart surgery, quadruple bypass. I honestly thought I was feeling fantastic, geez. But all of a sudden, next thing I know, they had me in that night. I did not know I was having a heart attack. It was very frightening. I was in a coma for 6 weeks. I woke up. They told the wife some bad news that if he doesn't wake up by Friday, they were going to pull the plug. But I woke up on Wednesday, and I had asked the doctor to make sure you take all the tubes out of my throat before I wake up, or I'm going to panic. Guess what? I was right. I panicked. And next thing I know, they had me handcuffed to the bed so I would stop pulling tubes out of me. It's very demoralizing. It's I used to be very adequate. Next thing I know, I'm in man's diapers in London. You lose all self-respect when that starts to happen. You just gotta endure it, and that's what I had to do. But it's no fun, no picnic at all.
When did you finally show up here in South Huron?
Yeah, they brought me down here, back to here, and I was very happy to be here because, you know, we're only 2 or 3 minutes away from the hospital. I tell you, they're miracle workers. They were there to make me feel the best they could make a guy feel, even though morally I felt helpless. I had a nurse at night around 12 or 1 in the morning that would come in to give me my pills, and joke, kid, the whole 9 yards, woke me up at 1 in the morning, and I just thought she was the sweetest. Oh, and then the guys downstairs that made me learn to walk again. If it wasn't for those doctors, I wouldn't be here. The reason I called the foundation was because when I got this letter, I wanted to make sure that I didn't want to give $35. $35 is like, that's not worth holding a conversation. And then when I was talking to the young lady and I realized how important this place was for me, I decided to give the $1,500, and I have no problem with that. Not everybody can afford to do that, but everybody here in South Huron should be donating to this hospital, because think about it. Whether you're young or older, you're going to need this place. Kids break their arms or legs, whatever. People get old and end up needing this place like I did. And if we donate to this building, it's going to stay here for us. So just donate, help out. And like I said, you heard $35 is really nothing. So just give $35 and help out your hospital. This is your hospital. So help us out.
Tell me your name and where you're from.
I am Diane Dietrich, and I'm from Grand Bend. In September of 2022, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. I was at the White Squirrel at our annual banquet, so I took the phone call and he said, I strongly suggest you take this appointment the next day. My rheumatologist found some bad things in my blood from a routine blood test. And that week, I was seen by a hematologist in London, Ontario at the Cancer Centre at London Health Sciences. I went into London and met Dr. Sani. I liked him right away. He was very caring, very understanding, but he said the only way we can find out what is really the matter is through a bone marrow biopsy. In the beginning, it was misdiagnosed as something else, and he called me one Saturday morning and said, after further testing, we've decided that it is acute myeloid leukemia, and he said that's a good thing because he said I can cure that. Bill, my husband, was with me. It sort of shook both of us. So I finally got a bed in London, which was only a couple of weeks later. I went in, they did a PICC line in my arm, they did a heart test, and I was ready to go. But as soon as I get to go on this treatment, I had to go into isolation, because they knock everything out of your blood, so you have no immunity, you have no resistance to anything. So other than my son, my husband, and my 2 sisters, I was in this room, and the only person I saw was the cleaning lady, the PSW, and the nurses that would come in. And I was out for a whole week. So that was all the chemotherapy I had. And then I had to recover. They tell me I was quite ill, but I don't remember much. And there was many times Bill came to visit me in London, and I had slept through the time he was there. But I had many pity parties. I spent my 70th birthday in a hospital in London, and I had many tears and wanted to know why it was happening to me. Yeah. I was there for 6 weeks, and the hematologist resident came in and said, "I have some great news. Your husband needs to buy a lottery ticket because you're in remission. So once you're in remission, you're out of London." And she said, "We're working on getting you somewhere near Grand Bend." Well, luck has it, there was a bed here in South Huron. And that afternoon, Voyager brought me to South Huron. I had fabulous nurses. The physiotherapist, Doug, came right away because I could hardly walk. I'd been in bed for 6 weeks, so got me right downstairs with a walker and started some physio stuff. My feet were really swollen. I didn't have a lot of strength in my arms because I hadn't been using them, but I knew that with the strengthening exercises they gave me downstairs, that it would get better. Dr. Kelly and Dr. Patel were the doctors that looked after me. The nurses were fabulous. We always love seeing them first thing in the morning as they come in and open up all the blinds. As I was here in November or December, I guess, and sometimes the weather's bad, so you always have to make sure that they had a good ride in, and they were always willing to talk to us in the morning and just make our day start very, very well. They always made sure that we were up and at 'em for breakfast and lunch and dinner, and they were always willing and able to take us for a little stroll, and the cleaning people were always had a smile on their face, and the kitchen staff were always making sure that we had lots to eat. And one night, one of the nurses gave me a back rub, and I think I had a pity party that night, and she was very caring, and those hugs were awesome. Yeah.
That's amazing. How are you doing now, Diane?
So far, so good. I've been through 1 year of since my last chemo, and every year it gets better. I have an appointment this week for another biopsy. So every 4 months I have a biopsy. I have to do blood work monthly, and if that's all it takes for me to stay healthy and enjoy life. Before I required care here at South Huron, Bill and I were donors, and I've always been an advocate to the hospital in Exeter. It's important to donate to keep the equipment updated. If we can have facilities and stuff here in Exeter, you don't need to make that drive to London. London Health Sciences and St. Joe's is a great place to go for your treatment, but to be able to come back to South Huron to recover, it just makes the difference in the world. Your families are close by, they can drop in, they've got the facilities here to help you get stronger, and our community is aging, and for older people to drive to London, it's hard for them, and we just need to keep updating our little hospitals. The hospital really isn't a nice place to be, but when you're close to home, it really does matter.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
I'd like to thank all of you that donate to the South Huron Hospital Foundation for your contribution and continued investment to healthcare in this community. It goes a long way to helping us continue to provide high quality care, both in primary care as well as in the hospital.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the people at South Huron Hospital, and please give generously and enjoy your evening at the Gala.
If we donate to this building, it's going to stay here for us. So just donate, help out. And like I said, just give $35 and help out your hospital. This is your hospital, so help us out.
I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by.